Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amber from Amber's Books and More, and today I have my February wrap-up. So the first book that I read in February is Gemena by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the second book in the Illuminae files. I read the first book, which is Illuminae, back in January, and I immediately went and picked this one up. It's a beautiful story. I think that I do somewhat like the first one better, but this one is definitely a very good installment. I enjoyed the characters in this. I enjoyed the world that they have created, and I cannot wait for the third one. So this is the first book that I read in February. So the next two books I read in February are the Passenger duology, so Passenger and Wayfarer. So one thing that I've been known to do in the past is I don't read a series of books until they are all out so that I can binge read them, because it makes me angry whenever I read one and I want the next and it's not there. So I picked up both of these at the same time and read them one right after the other. I really enjoyed the story. Both of these books kind of suffered from having a slow start, but I did enjoy the characters and I enjoyed the arc of the entire books, and I really love this world that Alexandra Bracken has created with the time travel, and I'm hoping that maybe one day she creates a book or a series based on some of the other characters, or even totally new characters in this world. But either way, I really I did enjoy these a lot. I believe I gave Passenger 4 stars on Goodreads and Wayfarer 3 stars. So if you're on Goodreads, I have the link to my Goodreads down below. So go and check that out and you can see what my thoughts on it there. So the next book that I read in February is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I have wanted to read this book for a very long time, and when I saw this cover at the Half Price bookstore, I picked it up. Now, what I will say first, I'll talk about the illustrations. So the illustrations, let me find the Tea Party. The illustrations in this are very gothic and different, and I really loved that about them. And of course, now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it. So here's the Tea Party. It's very beautiful illustrations. The illustrations are by Camille Rose Garcia, and I've looked at some of her other things, and she does have some other older books that are with this kind of aesthetic. So I really love her illustrations, but after reading the book, the illustrations don't really go with the story. So the illustrations are kind of dark and gothic, and yet the story is very is very light and whimsical. And as far as the story goes, I didn't really care for it that much. I believe I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads because I didn't like Alice very much. She was very annoying, and she thought she knew everything, and yet she would get angry when someone would call her stupid when she was acting stupid. So yeah, I didn't really care for the story. I do like the world that was created, and which I think everybody does, because that's why so many reimaginings have come out, especially about the Red Queen, which she was probably my favorite part of this book. But yes, the next book I read in February was The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I picked this up because so many people on BookTube were talking about it, and I got this from Book Depository for a pretty good price. And this was actually a really beautiful story, and I really enjoyed reading it, and I enjoyed how it showed the multiple lives of the 3 different women in the family, and how everybody looked at Ava Lavender, even though she wasn't in the book as much as I thought that she would be. But I really enjoyed it. But it does show rape, even though it doesn't really talk about it that much. I mean, it does show those themes, and it was hard to read at times, but it was worth it. Like, it was such a good story, and I enjoyed the way that Leslie Walton wrote the story. I really enjoyed. So definitely check this out. I gave this, I believe, 5 stars, either 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, so check out that review there. So the next book I read in February, I'm actually pretty angry about, and this is Blackbird by Kankoko something. I can't pronounce the last name of this one. This is a manga, and it was the most horrific manga I've ever read in my life. It was disgusting. It was, oh my, this girl basically is like a So the girl basically is like, if a demon comes and eats her, he gets like power. If he marries her, he gets this. So like there's the main character that's supposed to be her love interest basically is like, hey, I saved your life, and like grabs her boobs, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, and then he keeps grabbing them, and he keeps hitting on her, and he keeps sticking his tongue on her, and when she keeps saying no, and it disgusts me, I hate it, it was horrible. I gave it 1 star, and that was being generous on Goodreads. I wouldn't recommend picking this up. I did actually, I'm mad because I bought the second book in this series already, so I don't know if I'm going to read it or not, but this was utterly disgusting. So the last 2 books that I read in February are A Darker Shade of Magic and A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I actually am not finished with this one, but I'm recording this on the weekend, and so by the 1st I will have this finished. I don't have that far left, and so I will have this finished. So this will be finished in February. I already have the new one that just came out, A Conjuring of Light. It is on my bookshelf waiting, so that one will be the first one that I read in March. So this story follows Kel and Lila, and Kel is an Antari, and basically he's a magician that can move through multiple universes, and so there's 4 parallel Londons. The Grey London, which is like our London, Red London, which reveres magic and everybody has magic. Then you have White London, which people will kill you for your magic because people want it so badly. And then Black London, which we don't talk about because Black London is gone. Magic ate it up. I'm really enjoying this series so far. V.E. Schwab has a beautiful way of writing, and I'm really glad that I picked these up. And I'm sad because she's actually coming to Texas, but she's coming down to Houston, and I'm in Austin, and I'm in the Dallas area, and it's in the middle of the week and I can't get down there. But either way, I do absolutely love these books. So that's it. That was my February wrap up. So I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I read 8 books, so that's not bad considering it was a short month and I'm just getting back into reading. The only book that I have for sure that I'm going to read in March is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. I have a few other books on my bookshelf that I want to get to, but I'm kind of unsure after I read that of what to read next. I don't want to dig too deep into fantasy right after reading a huge fantasy series. So if you have any suggestions, leave them down below and I will see if I can pick those up in March. Until next time, have a good day wherever you are. Love ya. Bye.